950 is the number to text or call us. I'm Valerie Vining. Beside me today is Brooks Burdett, co-hosting. Richard Dixon back tomorrow. Steve West behind the glass. Phil Carter on traffic. Am I doing that right? On traffic. And he gets excited about that traffic.
Well,
No, we're thrilled to have Phil. He does an excellent job, and we appreciate all that he does. Thank you very much to him. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, and he doesn't just use mile markers. He tells you where stuff
is. Yeah.
And that's extremely helpful.
You
I don't
need
know
landmarks.
No, none of us know mile. Unless you're a trucker, you don't know mile markers.
Well, I don't. Some people pay attention to what exit it is, but I think most of us that
just tell me
every
the
day
road.
going to work, you do that for 25 years. You're like, I don't even know. I don't know the number of the exit.
I don't either.
Swear.
But he does a good job.
He does a
because
great
he tells
job.
me where it is.
Yeah,
Don't
like
just tell
what's
me.
it near? 31 and what? There's a lot of 31s and whats. Anyways, there's 31 up way up there, way south. Drive all the way to the beach on where we at?
Yep.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Keith. Birmingham Broker. A lot of fun to be with these guys. They do a great job at selling used vehicles very quickly. Inventory is a little low, so they're like, come on, we need your vehicle. If you got a truck, SUV, a sedan, maybe a sports car, maybe a classic car sitting in the garage that you want to unload, let these guys sell it for you. They're the professionals that know how to do this really quickly, and that saves you the hassle of having to deal with it. That's really it. And I'm telling you, when you get your vehicle over to them, you're going to be happy that you chose them to sell your vehicle. They'll get it shined up, looking nice. Any dents or dings, those get cleaned up, and then they list it, handle everything. And I've been through that process. Not because of me, it was anything special. They treated me just like they treat everyone else, and they sold my car really quickly. And so I was very happy about that. They also have a new business. It's BB Electric Moto, and I happened to be over there Saturday for the grand opening. These bikes are super, super cool. Electric dirt bikes. If you can envision just a dirt bike, that's exactly what it looks like. No pedals. But these guys are doing wheelies down the street and just having a great time on them. If you have maybe a teenager that has a birthday coming up, bunch of graduations coming up, this might be a really cool gift for them to have. Go by and see them and check them out yourselves. Heck, as an adult, I was looking at these things thinking, you know what, I'd like to have one of these. So maybe in the near future, I might think about getting one, but they look exactly like a dirt bike, and they're a lot of fun. So go see Craig and the guys, Birmingham Broker, and also BB Electric Moto. Both businesses doing great. And again, thanks for having me out. Had a great time. I saw Will the Chubb Father. He had his food truck out there.
Oh, yay.
Leland came out, hung with him for a little bit. And like I said, Craig and Keith and a lot of other folks were out there and just having a good time Saturday morning, checking out the brand new business.
So I just pulled up the website. Those are cool.
They're
looking
very. That's what I'm
bikes,
saying.
man.
I want to.
Those are great.
I'm like, I would love to have one.
Oh,
of
I don't
those.
need to go see them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Oh yes, you do. Because you got some farmland. You can get out there and
I'll
ride
hurt-
that thing
I'll
on.
hurt myself. I will hurt myself. I have a. I like my golf cart.
Yeah, but I thought, are these like bicycle lightweight? No, there's some weight to them.
They look.
I think one of them was about 150 pounds. There are some that are heavier than that, but I can't quite describe it. Maybe pull it up on your website, BB Electric
Y'all need to
Moto,
look
and-
at these.
yeah.
They're great. Wow.
It's
He's
really
got
neat.
several pictures in the showroom and lots of bikes.
Yep, lots and all the accessories. You can change out the wheels and instead of black, maybe blue or some. They had a bunch of lime colored ones, or you can gold trim and stuff like that. It was really cool.
So have you ever owned a motorcycle?
There's a Harley that's been in the garage for many years
That's
and
right.
got rid of the Harley.
Yep, I remember. As a child, did you?
A lot of mini bikes.
Yep,
Go-kart. We had a go-kart.
Yeah.
We had a mini bike.
So
Well,
I
this is
had-
my older brother, but I got to
Yeah.
ride it too.
So I got a Honda 50.
Mhm.
Okay. And our house was a little far off the road to go to the bus stop. And I would put on my full face helmet.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what grade was I? 7th grade or something. And ride up to the neighbor's house that was right by the bus stop every day.
Oh,
And
how
I
fun.
loved. And so my folks had a big garden, and we grew okra.
Oh,
Okay.
uh-huh.
And after you pull the okra, those leaves, when they get moist, are slippery and fun. And I had a figure eight. I wore that Honda 50 out with my helmet was bigger than me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
But
we
anyway,
need.
that's
the-
my
the-
motorcycle
The one
life.
thing, my dad loved little toys, and he loved classic cars. We at one point we had a '57 T-Bird that he gave my mom, fixing that thing up. But one of the things that he had was an old T model, open like 19, I don't know, '02 or something like that. It was a four-seater, and the thing sat in the
Wow.
garage forever. But he found this go-kart place. This was in South Florida. It was in Fort Lauderdale, and it was a replica Model T, like go-kart.
Oh,
And
wow.
it kind of sat up high, and it was open air.
Mhm.
Two people could sit in the front, two people could sit in the back. And he bought this thing, and again, we would ride it around the neighborhood. We give everybody in the neighborhood rides in the car, and they, you could put two people in the back, and we'd ride the front. It didn't have a round steering wheel; it had like a little
Wow.
stick handle
I've never
thing.
seen a four-seater
Oh, it
go
was
kart.
the coolest.
Oh, that's cool.
Most fun thing.
Wow.
He started out. The first one we got was just a two-seater, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Well, we need," and he traded that thing in, and then bought this four-seater one. We rode that thing all over the
Oh,
place.
that's great.
It was a ball.
And it taught you how to drive, didn't it?
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of did.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Sure
Yep,
did.
Yep.
We didn't get a chance yesterday to talk a little bit about this. The Masters over in Augusta, Georgia, played over the weekend. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy. I mean, I was glued to some of what was going on.
Yeah.
But they had a little incident over there involving Sergio Garcia that they are now looking into a little bit further. If you didn't see it, Sergio, quite a player, apparently hit a horrible tee shot
Yep.
and then smashed. He took a big old chunk out of the tee box.
I mean, a huge chunk.
Yeah.
If you watch the video, it's a huge chunk. And
Yeah.
he hit it into the fairway bunker, which that happens. I don't know why that upset him so bad.
Yeah, again, not that big a deal, but
I don't get upset when I hit a fairway bunker. I'm glad I got it in the fairway.
that's
So,
right. At least
sorry.
it's there.
Yeah, but you're not being paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to try and win a golf tournament.
This is true, but I don't hit 1,000 balls a day either.
But
I
it
shouldn't
gets
hit
it gets worse. So Sergio, again, for those of you that didn't see it, walks over. There's these green coolers, the green cooler looking things, and he takes his driver and he smacks the cooler thing, and he cracks the head of the driver it's hanging, it's dangling.
Yes.
He's completely broken this whole thing. So there's been a lot of back and forth about how maybe the Masters should handle this, because they're saying that he's exempt from any, removal from the Masters after this meltdown. And there's a lot of people saying, you know what, we might need to rethink this, because that's not exactly how you want to behave at the Masters. There's
No.
a lot of rules at the Masters.
Yes.
Things you can and cannot say, things you can and cannot do. And this one was way off the chart. So where would they go with this is the
Well,
big question.
There has to be consequences because you can't act that way. Golf. We want golf to be for the family. They do so much to encourage juniors, children to play, and you can't act that way. Masters or anywhere else. So, do you know that they take your phone from you when you're at the Masters?
They don't want any
And
of that going on.
I love that too. I'd love a day at the Masters without my phone.
Wouldn't that be
great.
nice?
And they have little phone stations so you can call people. It's not like you can't contact the
Yeah.
outer world while you're at
But
the
I think
Masters,
it's good because the phones are a distraction.
Sure,
I think
sure.
more so for the players than
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah.
But
Right. But I think Sergio needs a little anger management for sure, because he, after he hits and knocks the chunk out of the tee box, you think he's going to calm down,
And
then
that's
he
it.
walks back and he goes at it, and
Yeah.
you can't act that way.
Yep. And here's the thing: there's not a replacement driver when you do that.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's really
for
a
the rest of
stupid
the
thing.
round. You're
And
done.
I think he was on the sixth hole or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, it was early in the round,
Yeah.
and he has to do it out the rest of the day. He can get it fixed for the next day, but for the rest of the
for
day,
that day
done.
he's done. So
Yeah. How many times have I said today, people control yourselves?
yeah,
Sergio,
yeah.
you're
Control
a
yourselves.
multimillionaire.
You
You
can
don't
do
have
it.
financial problems. You hit a bad shot. You need to get yourself under control.
The only time I've ever had, one time was, I think it was around Sanibel Island. I was down there on a vacation and took my golf clubs and played, and the temperature was it was incredibly hot. I mean, close to 100 degrees. That's how bad it was. And the clubs were in the car, in the heat of the car, which probably wasn't the best thing. And I remember at a tee box, as I was driving, the head of the club flew off. I mean, and I was like, thank God no one got hit by it, because I could have killed somebody
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
And it was because the heat had
loosened
kind
it
of
up,
loosened it
right.
up and melted that area,
Yeah.
and that was the end of it. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
no, now
Well,
my
that's sad.
now
I thought you were about to tell us you were an angry
no,
story.
no,
I'm
no.
like,
It
no,
just
no,
it was
no.
it had
Just
to
a
be
swing.
the heat.
Just
Yeah,
the heat. So you drove then, right? With your clubs.
No, I flew.
Were you nervous? I've never flown taking my clubs.
I didn't care for it, because
You
I
know,
was like,
well,
this
I mean,
is like putting in a suitcase all of your favorite shirts, all of your favorite jeans, all of your favorite shoes and shorts, and then they misplace your luggage. You're
no,
like,
see,
wait.
and my clubs were fitted for me, and
Yeah.
I would just, I've just been real paranoid. I'd rather just go and rent clubs and have fun.
Yeah, and not worry about
I'm
it.
scared. I'm scared to
Yeah.
do that.
Well, I guess you could carry them on the plane with you, like just a couple clubs, not the whole bag.
Yeah. Well, that's
Hey, lady, you can't come on this plane with that entire golf bag.
well,
Sorry,
and
you're gonna have
now
to
you're
check
going to
that.
pay $35 per club.
Something like that.
Something like
All right, 8:30. We're going to talk with Missy. She'll be joining us, talk about the Down Syndrome Alabama Golf Tournament, which is right around the corner over at Inverness Country Club, and maybe how you can partake and enjoy some of that. Again, that's 8:35. We'll be discussing that. Three things coming up next here on Talk 99.5. 821 Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Brooks Burdett in with me this morning. Richard Dixon back tomorrow. We'll get the gang all together. Don't forget to download our app. Download the free Talk 99.5 app. You can listen live there, watch us on YouTube, call or text us at 545-9950, and also watch our podcast. And the best part about it is it's absolutely free, so do it today. All right, let's get into it. The 3 things you need to know.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, Representative Eric Swalwell is out. He's out. He said he's going to resign from Congress as allegations of sexual misconduct continue to grow. The California Democrat has denied all of these allegations. Several women have come forward with accusations of inappropriate behavior, including a former staffer. He has already suspended his campaign for California governor. I'm sure Gavin Newsom's happy about that.
Yeah. Well, it just came across that they were going to start his expulsion tomorrow. So I bet they told him, we've got the votes, we're about to start it, so he's out.
You're going to be done. So Eric Swalwell, it's finally catching up to him. Fang Fang, we knew about the former Chinese spy that he had that relationship with, and you were like, dude, what are you doing, dude? So, yeah.
Control yourself.
Yeah, the other thing that's going on in the news, it looks like maybe some fresh U.S.-Iran talks could happen before the ceasefire runs out later this week. I believe that's on Thursday. J.D. Vance giving those 6 red line demands that would permanently prevent them from acquiring nuclear weapons. I don't know how far this goes. You and I, Brooks, both all watching on our monitors a couple of minutes ago, the number of tankers and ships that are in the Strait of Hormuz that are trying to get through. They are working on that. So there's still a lot of movement here. Can we come to some kind of an agreement with Iran? I don't know that this is going to happen. They seem to have their heels dug in. They don't seem to realize you really don't want to mess with the U.S. when you talk about taking out some 15,000 targets in a period of about 4 weeks. That's pretty impressive. And again, they're still playing games with us. It looks as if also Israel is going to be in some talks with Lebanon, and it involves some of this situation as well. But again, the ceasefire runs out this Thursday. We're not playing around with the Strait of Hormuz. Those tankers we need to have those come through. When you talk about, as much that needs to come through there, 20% of the world's energy supply moves through the Strait of Hormuz. So let's get this thing open. Let's do what we need to do, because I think Iran would drag this out for as long as they possibly could.
Here's the thing. If they look at the history of our former presidents, then you can understand why they're acting. But surely they know by now Trump's a whole different person.
Yeah,
We're
doubt
at a
about it.
whole different place now.
I want to thank you for those things, but I told you.
You
Just
need some
no,
water?
I'm good.
Okay.
I got some
All right,
coffee. But
So can I share?
yes, share.
Listen to this, y'all. If you have to have fresh pecans, okay? They have to be fresh.
That's why we switch
You
gears.
knew this was going to
I
happen.
did. I said I shouldn't eat
sorry,
one of
y'all.
these. I'm gonna get it hung up in my throat.
And you put them on a cookie sheet. And you
We
put them
went straight
on
to a recipe.
I know. You put them. This is Richard Dixon. All right. You put them in the oven on roast for 10 minutes. No butter, salt, garlic, and they'll choke you. Sorry. Anyway, great snack.
Yeah,
And,
it's very
but,
good.
But listen, but y'all, when you have a snack that's a nut, you chew it and you swallow it before you talk.
yeah,
Okay,
I shouldn't have eaten
Okay.
one of those.
All
I
right.
knew that was
We
going to happen.
digress. Get back to our
All
three
right,
things.
so our
But that being said, real quick,
yes,
it just proves this show always comes back to food.
it sure does.
does.
All right, our third top story of the day, and I know that you all probably discussed this yesterday, Steve, with April Marie in, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. It's about what happened down in Tuscaloosa on Saturday along the Strip during the A-Day game or after the A-Day game. The police department made the decision to temporarily shut it down just before 6 p.m. due to an overcrowding problem, which is weird. We've had a couple of years where this has happened. It's like, why all of a sudden is this going on? The safety director down there, Brent Blakely, said that a large amount of people involved were juveniles. And again, this is this crowd that just all of a sudden grew and grew and grew. He said that some of the people that he saw as young as 13 and 14 years old were dropped off on the Strip area. At that age, they weren't old enough to even go into some of these establishments because you have a lot of bars along the Strip. Fights started breaking out. People inside bars could stay, but everyone outside was ordered to leave or find a place to go. Blakely said the crowds kept coming in and they realized it could turn into a huge safety issue. If you remember, I think this was either last year or the year before, where there was some gunfire. And it was after A-Day game, crowds kind of billowed up. There were some images of the crowd, and I'm not sure what exactly was going on there, but to me it didn't look like the A-Day game crowd. Again, when you're why are we bringing 13 and 14-year-olds to the Strip on a college campus following the A-Day game? There's a disconnect there. Something's going on.
Parents not parenting.
Parenting,
Drop off your
dropping
kid.
them off so they have something else to do so you don't have to deal with
That's
them.
right. Parents not parenting.
And one of the things that that law enforcement is looking at is maybe looking at more of the online media, social chatter about what's going on and why these groups all of a sudden
That's interesting.
emerge
Yeah, right.
real quickly at a particular event that might not necessarily be even anything they're interested in. They just see an opportunity to, hey, we can gather and we can cause a ruckus and we can do this and we can do that because there's going to be a big crowd there and we'll go immerse ourselves in the middle of it. Might be Alabama fans, may not be Alabama fans. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that is very
what
interesting.
this is. I don't know how Tuscaloosa is going to remedy this. How do you fix this? Because you want people to come to the A-Day game. You want people to, before and after, as a matter of fact, enjoy the restaurants,
Yeah, spend
have
some
you a
money,
beverage,
sure.
spend money on Bama garb and gear and stuff like that. But the outside factor that's coming into Tuscaloosa that wasn't necessarily there for the A-Day game and doesn't necessarily care about Alabama football or anything Alabama for that matter.
You're ruining it for the rest of us.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Jackasses.
Do we have a similar issue with this as we do with some of the beaches that keep having
I
problems
was just about
with
to say, was
shootings?
this spring break on the Strip? That's what I was just thinking that. Yep.
It could be. I don't
Right.
know. But there has to be an answer to this. Maybe they're going to have to close
Put
off
barricades
and say you need certain
and you
tickets
gotta
to
be,
get in this area.
Or you got to be 21 and older.
21 or
Yep.
older. I don't know. Well, that kind of ruins it for parents,
parents
that
wanna
have
take
their
the- yeah,
kids.
sure.
And they're like, hey, we all would like to, as a family, go into this restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and everybody get a burger or something. And by the way, they're serving beer. The adults can have a beer and the kids have a Coke and a burger.
Yeah.
Does it ruin it for them if you do that?
Right. That's true.
I mean,
Unless you have to have your parent or an adult with you. But then that hurts the parents who don't want to parent.
it's turning into a real problem.
Mhm.
It's a real problem. 8:29. We're going to be talking with Missy in just a minute.
Control your children.
Down syndrome, Alabama. She is with a golf tournament we've been proud to be associated with for many years and continue to be associated. We'll get some details from her on that. Look forward to talking to her back in a minute. Again, 8:29. It's Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5. 836, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Thank you for being with us. No Richard Dixon. Brooks Burdett in the hot seat. Ow. My earring stuck in my, ow. I'm in pain.
Ow.
Ow. I hurt myself.
Don't hurt yourself.
It is 8:36, and we are so excited. A couple of events that we're going to tell you about. We have got Missy. Pronounce your last name for me.
It's Hockery.
Hockery. See, I never get it right, Brooks.
Hockery.
Hockery. It's not like it looks
It's not.
because it's spelled differently.
What is that? What is hockery?
According to my husband,
Yes.
it's Irish.
Oh, Irish.
And
Hockery.
the GH is a hard Irish K.
Okay.
So HAUGHERY.
See, it doesn't look like hockery.
No.
That's why I butchered it. I butcher it every time.
And everybody does.
I know. I'm so sorry.
When we hear someone who can pronounce it correctly,
You're like, oh.
I'm either like, or I'm like, ooh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why
Just
do
think,
you know
why
my
do you
name?
have-
How
yeah.
can you
Hawk.
Need
pronounce
to worry
it
about
correctly?
you
Hurry. Hockery. I got it now.
Yes.
I won't mess it up again. I promise.
until next year.
Yeah, Missy is with Down Syndrome Alabama and all that is event-wise with Down Syndrome Alabama, and just a wonderful organization. We're going to first discuss an event that is coming up. Is it tomorrow?
It's Saturday.
Saturday. Forgive me for that. Tune up for Down syndrome. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on Saturday. What's it all about?
Well, Tune Up for Down Syndrome is a first-time event this year. It is put on by our junior board. It is going to be taking place at the Gateway, which is Trustful's Entertainment District by Ferris and Pinch Gut Pies.
Fun place.
It is.
Yeah,
We're
I
really
love it.
excited. We have two different bands. We have an opener from 4 to 5:30, Stephen Wheeler, and then we have a headliner, Southtown Revival, from 6 to 9. The event is totally complimentary.
Wow.
So we want people to come out and join us. You know, music is the universal language. And
Right.
so if we can bring people together with the background of some really good music, what a better way to further our mission is really what it's all about.
And and maybe introduce people to what Down Syndrome Alabama is all about and what you all do.
Exactly.
Love that.
And so we're really excited, and we hope to have a big crowd for it.
Yeah, 4 to 9 p.m. No cost to attend. That
No
is
cost.
wild.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
We do have a VIP option if
Yeah.
you want to elevate your experience. That gets you some appetizers, shorter bar and bathroom lines, some proximity seating, indoor options that are available. But anybody can come, so we welcome.
All right. So
everyone.
if somebody wants to become, and the VIP thing sounds very interesting, I would think that the proceeds probably go to Down Syndrome Alabama.
They do.
That give the website, because all of the details are there, and there's also a link to become a VIP. And again, it's this coming Saturday. We're going to have great weather. What's the website that they can go to?
The website is downsyndromealabama.org. And if you go to our events tab, we have several events listed, and click on Tune Up, and that'll give you all the information that you need to know and where you can click and purchase a VIP pass.
And I don't know who does the website for Down Syndrome Alabama. Is that you?
It's Claire, our communications manager.
Great job. Very well laid out. Very easy to find what you need to find. And so, yeah, the graphics are great.
She's
And
wonderful.
You said the junior board.
Yes.
What is that?
So our junior board is a group of young professionals aged 23 to 39. And the purpose of the junior board is to help develop the organization and further the mission, all while also training them to be ready to take over big board roles.
Oh, wow. That's great.
pretty neat. That's pretty
great.
neat. And, one of the things that, and I forget how many years it's been now, Missy, that we've been involved with you guys for Tee It Up for Down Syndrome. It is a golf tournament that we have been a part of for many, many years. It just warms our heart to be able to be a part of this, to watch, the ceremonial tee and everyone that is out there for this golf tournament. So let's talk about that, because that's coming up in, I think it's the Monday after our Jawbone Jam. The Jawbone Jam is on the 15th. It's on the 18th of May. That's right around the corner, and there's still some spots open for you golfers.
Yes. So this is going to be our 19th year of this tournament. And
Wow.
so we are really excited. It is held Monday the 18th at Inverness Country Club. And we have about 3 foursomes left. And the early bird pricing ends tomorrow. So I'm hoping that we'll fill it before that ends and everybody saves a little bit of money.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. I love the golf course there. Inverness is beautiful. They've always done a great job. This tournament is well organized. You all do a wonderful job. The prizes that are after the tournament, that all of those that play in the tournament have an opportunity to win and bid on, spectacular. I mean, every year I'm like, golly, they just get bigger and bigger and better. So, and then there's a breakfast and there's the lunch afterwards. So you're feeding folks 2 times.
Yes,
for
we
this
are.
event.
We are feeding breakfast, and then Taco Mama's providing our lunch, and we also have our transfusion and Bloody Mary bar, sponsored by Redmont. So
Yeah,
we're
there's-
excited.
You can't, nothing wrong with a Bloody Mary or transfusion to tee things off. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
I love it.
Richard and I are going to be out there broadcasting our show that morning from 6 until 10. Then I'll bail on him about 9 o'clock to help with some of the ceremonial tee shot, and the shotgun starts at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And again, you guys just do an amazing job with this tournament every year. That's why it fills up. That's why it sells out. So with only 3 spots left and a month to go, if y'all are golfers, get your foursome together and get online today and take advantage of the early bird special, because it's really well worth it. I mean, it's an amazing low price for what you get for the entire day.
And what
And
a
it goes-
cause.
and
And what
it
a
goes-
cause.
oh,
A
yeah.
fabulous cause.
Thank you.
It
Well,
really
we,
is.
we enjoy doing it, and it's a great way, like I said, to fund our programs and to further our mission.
Yeah, and again, if you want some details, and maybe you just you're not a golfer and you can't attend this event this weekend, Saturday, you certainly can make a donation to Down Syndrome Alabama, and that money stays here. It's not Down Syndrome America; it's Down Syndrome Alabama.
Right. We are a statewide organization. We are headquartered here in Birmingham. However, we provide resources for people across the state. We do scholarships, we do grants, we have family camps, all types of things that help everyone who has Down syndrome of all ages.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention this. Ed Kerr could not be here today. We're thinking about Ed, and I'm looking forward to seeing him out at the tournament because he's there every year and helps with this as well, and just a wonderful, lovely man. And if you see him before we're out there, hug his neck for me. And I hate that he couldn't make it in today. We completely understand that, and we'll get with him hopefully soon. And we just can't wait for this tournament. It's a lot of fun, and you guys make sure that you take advantage of this early bird special. Again, downsyndromealabama.org, and at the top of the page you will see it says events. Click on events, and then it'll take you to the tournament and the event on Saturday as well. So wonderful. Well, Missy, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for always having us and for being just a gracious part of all the events we do.
We love it. We love it. Thank you so much. Back in a minute. You're listening to Talk 99.5. 8:49. Good morning. Glad you're with us. A gorgeous looking Tuesday. Lots of sunshine, low humidity. Boy, you don't hear that in Alabama very often. So when we get to say that low humidity, it's awfully sweet. And it does feel great out there this morning. Temperature right now about 65 degrees. And we'll warm up to the mid 80s today. Lots of sunshine. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weather while we've got it, because we don't always have days that are like this. How about the day that Sharon Simmons had? She is they're calling her the DoorDash grandma, because she has apparently 10 grandkids that live in Arkansas. She's made 14,000 deliveries to help to pay for her husband's cancer treatment, and she made a delivery to the White House to President Donald Trump. Did you guys get a chance to see this, either Steve or Brooks?
I did see it. It is interesting.
I did not.
You
I
did
did
not.
not see it. I'm looking at it now. Wow.
It is interesting. It was a nice McDonald's delivery. Of course, we all know that President Trump loves him some McDonald's. But this was an interesting kind of back and forth between the two of them. And, you know, can you imagine that? 14,000 deliveries over 4 years. That's a lot of
That's
DoorDash deliveries.
yes. When
Go grandma.
I mean, goodness, when does she have time to be a grandma?
I
That's
don't
a
know.
lot of work.
Yeah. Apparently. Huh?
Here's my bigger question. How much did Trump tip?
That's what we don't know. We
didn't
saw,
say, and I
well,
can't tell.
there was a reporter or somebody standing outside the door where she was making this delivery. Kind of makes you feel like it was set up a little bit, but anyways, and he asked that how much, something about what did the president tip, and then he's got this, little wad of cash, and he hands it to her. You should tip her big.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
Come on,
sure he
tip
did.
big.
I can't tell. I'm zooming in on it, and I can't tell which president's head that is on that bill.
Yeah. But
I thought it was pretty good.
This
This
was
Trump's cash.
Yeah,
Look
this
at
was
that.
kind of a cool thing, and I think there was some
Oh,
back and
$100 bill. There it is.
It's $100. You can
$100
see
bill.
it.
Not bad
No,
for
it says
McDonald's.
it. It says
Oh, it says it. Good.
Yeah.
Way to
Yep.
go,
Not
Donald
bad
Trump.
at all for McDonald's. I like it.
Yeah, and no tax on tips, which is
Exactly.
yeah, really good.
That was a time in my life I sure would have appreciated no tax.
Wouldn't that
on
have been
tip.
nice?
Mm.
It's like, what do you mean you're going to tax my tips? That's like taxing Social Security. What do you mean? I give you money, you give me money back. Now you're going to tax my Social Security.
That's right.
Hey, welcome
What
to
the
the government.
heck?
Yeah.
How does that work?
That's just.
It's
You-
called the government logic.
I'm so glad that Donald Trump did away with taxing
Yep,
Social
that was-
Security.
that was
How long
good.
will that last, though?
Right.
Until we get a moron back in the White House.
That's. I think you just nailed it, Steve. That's exactly right. Yeah, unbelievable. All right. So we were talking a little bit earlier this morning about this entire Bahamas story, and that kind of leads us into another kind of vacation story that we mentioned about this young girl, 18 years old, who ended up dead on a cruise ship. And we have now found out that her stepbrother, all along there was some weird things going on with the stepbrother, and why aren't they arresting him? Because it looks like he was the one that did it. The stepbrother of the Florida teenager who died aboard that Carnival cruise ship is going to be charged as an adult. The 16-year-old, identified only as TH, because again, he's under the legal age, and they're only identifying him by those letters, in court documents, is accused of sexually assaulting 16-year-old Anna Kepner and intentionally killing her on that Carnival cruise. TH was initially charged as a juvenile back on February 2nd. He is charged with first-degree murder and aggravated sexual abuse. If convicted, the teen faces a maximum penalty of life in prison. What in the world, Brooks, is going on
I
here?
did not see that coming. I assumed, he was young, got drunk, got in a fight, and accidentally killed her. Nope, this is so much worse. And don't get me started. Death, life in prison's not enough.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
In February, TH was seen arriving in court in Miami. The teenager walked into the courtroom in a camouflage hoodie, face concealed beneath a low-pulled baseball cap and a hood wrapped tightly around his head. Didn't want anybody to see him. Kepner was discovered dead around 11:15 a.m. on November 7th inside her cabin aboard the cruise ship, Authorities later ruled her death a homicide caused by mechanical asphyxiation, according to some of the documents there. So he strangled her.
Yeah,
he killed
strangled her with something. But
Something,
you know,
but-
I wonder what red flags about him were waving prior to this trip. Because you just don't go on a trip, kill somebody, you know? So,
Yeah, very odd. Don't know
Very
the
odd.
circumstances
So
of that
sad.
particular night.
So sad.
But you're like, wait a minute, this is her stepbrother and sexual assault and a murder on a cruise ship?
Wow.
So sad. You just wonder what was going on there. Did adults in this situation, parents in this situation, have some idea about what was going on? Or were they blind to all of this? So-
That's why you've got to wonder what flags were raising prior to that. Goodness gracious, that's
Yeah.
just a tragic. When I first read this story, this update, I was shocked. I never thought
Didn't see that one
sexual
coming.
assault was
But the whole time, something was strange about
yes,
it. Where
about
they were like,
him. The
they're
sexual
like,
assault. I
yeah,
was like, what?
They're not telling us something
Yeah.
because initially they kept saying the stepbrother could be responsible for her death, and you're like, okay, well, what did she die of? I mean, how did she die, and why is there this issue that he would murder her? What led to it? Well, now when you're talking about a sexual assault, was there something personal between the two of them? And he decided maybe she was going to rat him out and say, I'm going to tell one of our parents that you've been sexually abusing me or that you did this. And he's like, oh, no, how dare you?
Yeah,
And instead he killed her, or he panicked and he killed her.
right.
Who knows?
Goodness gracious.
All right, on a little more upbeat note to get away from that story, but it still involves cruise ships. The Mobile City Council is expected, they're going to take some steps in a meeting today to maybe accommodate larger capacity cruise ships in Mobile. This would be big. Some of the items discussing a disembarkment ramp, passenger lobby chairs, and some of the things that are listed on their agenda. The money would be transferred from money set aside from other cruise terminal-related projects. But, I think, Mobile could be doing things as big as like Miami or Fort Lauderdale as far as getting cruise ships out.
Right.
I mean, you've got Cancun and Mexico. There are other destinations that you could go to. Go down to the Keys.
Have you ever taken a cruise out of Mobile?
I haven't.
See, I have not.
Steve
either.
is saying yes, he has.
Yes, we
So
took one 2000. What was it? 7 and went to Cozumel.
Well, are the facilities good as they are now?
Yeah,
I mean,
the port and the cruise ship terminal is decent. I mean, you're getting on a cruise ship, so you got a lot of people on it. So the line may be a little bit long to like get off and check out because, of course, they got to go through all the process. You've been to a foreign country and
Right.
you got to go through all that process. But yeah, it's a very nice facility. It's very workable, and Mobile's a good port.
yeah.
I would like to see them get a little bit more of that business. For example, my wife and a bunch of her friends are going down to leave for a trip. They're going to the Bahamas on a cruise ship this weekend, and they're leaving out of Jacksonville as opposed to Mobile. See, Mobile could have gotten something
Yeah,
like
something like that.
You know?
Wow. Well, good for her. Tell her I said, hey, and next year she needs to take
Happy
her law.
birthday to my wife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she needs
happy
to,
birthday.
She needs to
It's
take.
it's one of those milestone things.
Yeah.
So, every time they get a milestone
Yeah.
with one of the ladies, they go on one of these big trips, and whoever's got the milestone birthday gets to choose.
How many friends?
chose
How
them.
many ladies go on this trip?
This time I think it's 5.
5. So
Well,
we
she may need to take
5
her lawyer.
milestones.
She might need to take her lawyer next.
I'll let you.
let me know.
I'll get you and
Let
Karen
me
together,
know.
and you two can
Just in
talk
case
about
there's
that.
any shenanigans,
Wait.
you can help them out,
No,
right?
I want to help with the shenanigans.
Oh, there'll be plenty of that, I'm sure.
It's a lot of fun.
Why do you
Yeah.
think I don't go?
I took one cruise, and it was probably late 80s, and I haven't been on another one.
Yeah, I've been
Just
on a
one
couple
time.
and just had a ball.
For me,
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with the ship too. I mean,
Yes.
no disrespect. I'm not going to go on a Carnival or a Disney if I can avoid it because they're made. They're made for families, kids, and all that.
Right.
I'd rather go on a ship that's a little bit more adult oriented. The Alaska cruise that we took in 2005 was on a smaller ship, more attractive to adults. Didn't see a whole lot of kids there, and that made it a little bit more attractive to us.
Right.
So when I went on my Alaska cruise, the worst part is right by our stateroom was a piano bar.
Did you
Wow.
It
hear
was
that?
great. We spent
all
a lot
night
of time
long?
there. We spent a lot of time
Hearing
there.
a lot of
Great.
piano.
That Alaska cruise is great, though.
It was. It was
That's
a lot of fun.
Wonderful
Yeah.
trip.
Headed out of Seattle, went up to
Yep.
Juneau, and then came back down.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Great trip.
Yeah, cruises are fun, but I think I'm with Steve. I think the next one will not be.
Yeah, be
not-
selective on your
yeah,
ship, and
yeah.
you might
s-
find yourself having a better time.
something a little bit smaller, something a little bit more adult oriented, not the Carnival. Sometimes you feel like you're in a sardine can,
Yep.
even though it's big
Yep.
and it's a lot of
A
fun.
lot of good food.
Yeah, a lot of good food. That's when you start dieting about 2 months before the cruise, because that's all you're going to do is eat.
Yeah.
Eat
Or
and
just
drink.
know you're going to gain some weight and
Oh,
come
you
back
will.
and got to work it off.
Yep, that's exactly right. We're at just about 9 o'clock, folks. We got a Steve's turn coming up in just a little bit. Hang on for that.